what we had said, decoy is taking your opponent to some particular square where what do you call, where then you can deliver a blow there. So you lure him into a square where you can deliver a blow, and here you have some blow in mind, but there is a defender, so you distract the defender, or distract the thing from some square, and then you get advantage. Okay, so that is what is the principle for distraction. So this is a very interesting position to understand what is distraction. So look at this position and see, white has got a tremendous attack on h7. Okay, but there is a good defense on h7 also. Both the queen and the rook on g7 together, they defend h7. So there is no easy way for white to yeah. So what is the in this position, white goes ahead and plays queen to c8. Okay, queen to c8 first. Now there is only one option for black, is to play queen to f8, but now comes the distraction tactic. Can you see here? See, now queen is
Sir, bishop.
Huh?
Sir, bishop h7. King captures. Then, if no, the king won't capture. Then the queen is.
Rook will capture.
Rook captures. Then our rook captures. White rook captures.
Then black queen will kill the white queen.
So then check only happens.
Sir, rook to h8 check.
Rook to h8 is a powerful idea here. Rook to h8. Okay. Now king can, it's a proximity check. King cannot come to. If king comes to f7, then that same rook will kill the black queen on f8. And if the white king kills the rook,
then the queen will kill.
Then the white queen kills the black queen, and after that, even rook g8 will go. But what is the thing? White has got a queen for a rook. White has got a queen for a rook, right?
Yeah.
In fact, here it is queen h6 is mate. Okay, here it's a mate. But even otherwise, even if there was not a mate, it would still be very good for white, because queen for a rook is, bishop and a queen against two rooks, you should be able to win. But here you are able to get a checkmate itself, right? So what was distracted here? What was distracted here?
The king was distracted.
Yes, the king was distracted away from the g8 or f7 square. Okay, and g8 square actually, and then that is how the white won it, right? So this is let us look at one more thing. Okay, and in this position, what is black kills this, and black kills the pawn, thinking that he is getting a pawn ahead. Okay, he's thinking that he's getting a pawn ahead, but now there is a distraction.
So knight to a4.
Yeah, knight to a4. Just think about it before you make the move. Think about it. It is attacking the queen. Now the queen has to move, but queen has to also defend the black's bishop on d4. Otherwise, the white queen is attacking it. So you have to defend it. There are only so many squares from which you can defend it. And now,
sir, I have a question. If he plays, no. I thought if the knight comes to a4, then the queen can go to a5. But even he can't capture the knight.
No, not a5. Knight to a4, queen to a5. No, even there it cannot go because the white queen is controlling the a5 square.
Because bishop is right there at f1, it's controlling. All the squares are blocked of white because the queen, the bishop, and the knight together block all of the defense.
Correct.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
When this move comes, black can even play bishop c3.
Black can play bishop to c3. Then bishop will simply be killed by this one, right? If bishop c3, then knight goes to c3. Knight kills the bishop on c3. Free.
Yeah, but oh yes, that.
Right.
Oh yes.
So now there is only thing that black did, because bishop was anyway going. Okay, so what he did was he just.
So in this position, knight. No, knight is not
Knight just
lost.
comes back to c3. Yeah, knight just comes back to c3, and then there is nothing. So it's just one bishop down, right? Black is simply one bishop down. He got a pawn for it, but he lost his bishop. So this game eventually, see, when the game say ... and then 1-0, that means game continued, but white won. Okay, white won because, okay, we are not talking about how exactly white won, but he got a bishop up, and it's a tactic, right? So that is what is important. And just as you would know, if you are playing hockey or basketball or a thing also, or football, right, there is a lot of distraction that is carried out just because. See, what will they do? They will try to distract one of the key defenders away, right? In goal, how do you score goals in football, right? So you have to create distractions and you have to create false maneuvers. Then the defenders are there in front. 3 or 4 defenders will normally be there in front of the goal post, right? And of any team, when you try to attack, they will try to defend it. But then clever things, if you are watching, then there is a lot of distraction, and some of the best teams and the best players, they are masters of distraction. They will just make a move here and they will draw the defenders on that side, and then from the other side, then they will try to attack and create a goal, right? I'm sure you have seen a lot, right? So a principle is similar. Okay, you have to distract the defender. Okay, let us quickly look at some more examples. Yeah, here.
So
Yeah.
I got it. Rook d8 check afterwards, followed by b7, knight b7.
Followed by knight b7. No, followed by bishop takes queen. Depends on either knight b7 or correct. You are right. So rook to d8. Now, what is the thing? You are distracting. Is this a decoy or a distraction? So if you take it as a king takes to d8, then it's a decoy, because then knight goes to b7 and it is forking the king and the queen, right? So that is that will be considered as a decoy. But if you take the rook on e8 captures d8, then it is considered as distraction, because now that rook was pinning the white bishop on e3, which was attacking the black queen, and now the rook is going to go, either the king will take it or rook will take it. There is no other option, right, for this check. So if you see here, king does not have any other move.
Queen is losing.
Yeah, so if rook takes d8, then white bishop takes the queen, because now the bishop is no longer pinned, right?
So,
Yeah.
Yes.
why can't you just take the queen directly?
You can't take it because your queen will also go otherwise, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine.
Right, it will be a... So that is the thing. So, okay. So, all right, let us go to one more example.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think we have to distract the queen in this position.
From where?
That only I'm not getting it.
What is the key square that the queen is controlling that you want to distract it away?
E7, actually.
E7, but there is also a black rook on A7, which is also guarding it, right?
Yes.
So
the maybe the bishop on e3.
bishop on Let us think about this.
Maybe we're distracting it from d6.
From d6, huh? But why is d6 important?
Sir, I think knight e7.
Knight e7. If you play knight e7, then queen will take e7.
So then we can
Right? Queen will take e7, and after that, what is the thing? See, you have to understand where is the white pawn on g6. What does that create?
So queen on f7 checkmate.
So queen, but to give the queen to h7, where should white queen first go to?
H4.
h4. h4.
H4.
And
And the
h4.
pawn is defended by the.
So the h4, forget about the pawn. Actually, it's not the pawn, it's the h4 square is defended by the
knight
black queen.
f6.
So only by rook we can. Rook b8.
Rook b8 is the winning, but why, you have to understand, why should queen be distracted? Because your white queen can come to h4 next, and once white queen comes to h4, the mate is forced, right? The mate is going to be forced. So this is the idea here, right? So what is the queen can do? Queen, can it come to f6? No. Right? Can it come to g5? No. Can it come to e7? No. So no matter what does now, queen has to give up the control on the h4 square. Right? So now queen will take the rook, and white queen will take h4 pawn, and now the mate is forced now after this, because queen h7 is threatened, which is checkmate. You can't easily do anything. Knight to g5 doesn't help, because bishop will take g5 again. So again, f7 and h7 are controlled by the white. You can move the
I have
rook
a
to,
question.
yeah.
So can't the queen go to d7?
Yeah, queen can go to d7 very much, and then white queen takes h4. Then
Oh,
the whole point is, after queen h4, mate is being forced. Why? Because knight on d5 is also controlling the e7 square. So even if you move away the rook, so let us just take queen to d7, white queen to h4, black rook on f8 takes the white rook on b8, and also makes a square for the king to escape. Queen to h7 check, king to f8, king to h8, queen to h8 check. Now there is nothing. Now there is nothing, because f7 you cannot come, e7 you cannot come, right? There is nothing to pull back. So queen to, even after king going to f8, queen to h8 is a checkmate. So that is the whole idea in this thing. It's a beautiful thing. Botvinnik versus Keres, right? 1966. We should sometimes see this game. It was a wonderful game. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. So this is a double distraction. This is a double distraction.
So it's an Arabian mate.
Yeah, it is going to be an Arabian mate, correct. Right.
So Arabian mates are very easy. When I do puzzles, I always solve the Arabian mate ones.
Okay. So
Arabian. So for that we have to distract.
yeah, so queen to f4.
To distract the knight, sir. We have to distract the knight.
Yeah, queen to f4. Just check.
Towards
And
queen.
you have to distract both the knight and the queen, and that's why it is double distraction. So now, what are you threatening? You are threatening rook to h6, and there is no other way to defend h6, right? Or to block the queen's attack on the thing. So there is nothing, and the knight is also sitting, so king also cannot come to h7, right? Black king also cannot come to h7 because the knight is sitting at a very deadly square. If you take the knight, doesn't help because this side it will be checkmate, right? So what do you do here, right? Anyway, you take the knight, you will lose the queen, but what do? You have to accept the queen. You have to accept the queen, and then there is a second distraction. Rook takes h7.
Queen distraction.
Yeah, queen distraction, because queen is currently on g7 and it is controlling the g8 square, right? But now it's a check and there is nothing to do. King cannot move anywhere, so you are forced to take the thing. So actually white sacrifices his queen as well as rook just to deliver and get the Arabian checkmate here, because but this is a powerful checkmate, right? So what happened here meanwhile? I think I'm just checking the world championship game. I think it is interesting. Knight came to c5 and something happened. Okay, we have to see back. Check. Okay, let's go back and see.
Rook takes bishop.
Yep.
Sir, the move would be rook killing the h8 bishop.
Yeah, but why? What is the idea?
No, so that the king could come to the h rook and then you could give a check with your queen or your rook.
So you will give a check with the queen and then king will go to g8 again, and then
you could get your rook and give a check. No, then you could get your rook to h1 and then you could get your queen to h8.
if you get a queen to rook to h1, okay, then what may happen? The queen knight can go to h5 also. So we'll see what is the idea here. Rook to h8, king to h8, queen to h6, king to g8. I think the important idea is to distract the knight now. Okay, because if you simply play rook to, what? Rook to h1, if you play, then knight can go to h5 also. Right? Knight can go to h5.
Yeah.
So it is important to first distract the knight, because now here what you do is now you are attacking a queen as well as the knight. So obviously if you move the queen, then you will take the knight, and then after the knight is exchanged, then the rook to h1 it is going to be a forced checkmate, because the defending knight is gone. And if you take the knight, if you take the white knight by taking the f6 knight to d5, then also you will go to rook to h1, and now the knight is too far away. Now it cannot come to h5 or something, right? So you are distracting the knight from h5. Okay. And don't think that knight h5, then you will play g4, etc. Already you have sacrificed a rook for a bishop. So that way it is not easy. So knight coming to h5 would have just stopped the white's attack, and it would have been a very different game. But now with this, what you do is, now the knight is forced to take the white knight on d5. And now you are so far away that now white rook to h1, it is going to be a sure checkmate. Right? So this is a very important piece of the combination here. Right? And this is sometimes happens. This knight coming to d5, I mean, whichever way, the knight moving there and distracting the king side knight is a very common theme that happens. Sometimes even when the queen is on h5 and this one, etc. also, that the king side knight is a very good defender, but by attacking the opponent's queen and knight at the same time, it forces that f6 knight to move. Sometimes it is f3 knight, white's when black is attacking. But that f6 knight distraction is a very common theme in many of the tactics.
Sir, if
Yeah.
black won't kill the knight, then the knight will kill the queen.
No. Black obviously will not lose the queen. Black can play queen to e8 or something like that. But then white knight will still kill the f6 knight.
Yeah, then white knight will kill the
And after that, rook to h1, then there is no defense. That's the thing. So don't think that you are simply winning. No, queen will defend itself. But either you will distract or eliminate the f6 knight. Right? Elimination is also, exchanging is also good. So fine. So this was the example. Let us see. Okay. This is a small game. I think, okay, so let us quickly check this. E4, E5, NF3, NC6, BB5, A6. It's an Roy Lopez exchange variation. Bishop takes C6, and that's why it is called as exchange. T takes C6. Castle. Castle, bishop to G4. H3. H5. Okay, why sometimes this is a sacrifice that is carried out? Why? Just think about it. Because if
even the queen can land on h4 and deliver check h2.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Sometimes this sacrifice works, so you should know about this sacrifice. When one side has castled, the other side has not castled, and that time he can play something like this. So if h takes g4, then the pawn will take g4. See, what we are saying is h takes g4. It's good for black, because black is very happy to think. Because now where will you go? The knight. If you simply take the knight, then queen h4 is a forced checkmate here. So even if you do something, where can you go? Because the knight is getting distracted now, right? And queen h4 is coming. So that is why this h3. Whenever such h5 is there, many times you can't take the bishop, even though it is available.
So what will happen if the knight goes to h2?
Then also queen will come to h4. See, instead of here hg4, knight h2, still queen comes to h4.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So knight captures, can you go move forward?
No. First, let us clarify to him. Knight h2, queen h4 wins, right? Because queen h4 is threatening queen h2 again. And if your knight goes anywhere, then queen h1 is also a checkmate. So there is nothing. And if you take knight e5, queen h4. So now what?
Yes, in this position, sir, white can even play f3.
Yeah, you can play f3. But black will play g3.
G3.
Yeah, g3 will be it is like, what you say, like in the previous position we saw, right? G6 pawn was there. It will be g3 will play. And then your king has no escape route after that. So that is why in this position, white does not take the bishop, d3. Black continues his attack on the f6. So bishop to e3. Fine. We are not checking all the entire game. We are going to see a crucial piece. Knight e7. Knight b to d2. Okay. Knight to g6. H takes g4. Now white takes h takes g4. Black also takes h takes g4. And now knight g5. Okay. Knight g5. See here, what black thinks that no, your queen cannot come to h4. Okay, your queen cannot come to h4, and hence this open file of the rook is not going to help you. Okay, so what they're saying is better to play is bishop to g5, because this is forcing your queen to go away, and now the queen cannot easily come to h4, and this is much better. And then you can play knight h2 and g3 again. This is okay, knight g4. But because knight went to g5, black very smartly closed cut off the support for the black knight and still made it possible now. Now the g5 knight is hanging, right? So what do? If bishop takes f4, then queen takes f4. Queen takes f4. So now again queen is threatening the h2 square. Do you see? And if you play g3, then queen is taking the g5 knight. So now, so bishop takes f4. Black queen has got a double attack now. double attack, right? And because of that, it is going to win this. So instead, black saw that and black thought that, okay, let me take the queen to g4. Okay. Can you see now why? And white distracted. This is a very powerful distraction. Right? White has taken a pawn, black takes a piece and offers his queen. Why does he offer his queen?
Sir, if he kills the black queen, then knight e2 checkmate.
Yeah, what is this, Anastasia? Checkmate, huh? I think. Knight e2 is giving a check to the king, and the h file is controlled by the rook. So there is absolutely no way, nothing to be done. So this checkmate is possible. And that is why black wins a piece here. So obviously white will not take the queen, but he will go back to defend. But if he goes back to defend, then again queen will come to h4, and again threat is continuing. So not only the piece up, but the threat continues. So this was a very powerful move. Queen takes g4 as a distraction of the white queen from e2. Okay, because the h file is open. Okay. All right. So do we want to do another thing? Okay, we'll just do. This move black to play.
Knight c3.
It is f3, but yeah, you are right. It is knight f3 is the move which is distracting the pawn from the g file.
Followed by rook g6.
Yeah, followed by rook g6, and then
And
king
it's like a
goes to-
smoother mate, like
it. Yeah, it is not exactly smothered mate, but it will be corner mate. So now what will happen is g takes knight, and then rook to g6. King has to go to h1, and the other knight will jump to f2 and deliver a checkmate. Right? This happened in the World Championship match, 1978. Korchnoi versus Karpov. Right?
if so this move is a forced checkmate.
Yeah, because even if you don't accept it, then also king will have to go to h1, and again knight f7, knight f2 will come, and again it's a checkmate. So you have no option. So I think this was a brilliant thing. It is easy to miss sometimes, right? This kind of a thing. So it is easy to miss. But knight to f3. Yeah. Okay. Very quickly. Go. This is from that, I think, Nimzovich. Yeah, Nimzovich game. Nimzovich Alapin.
Sir,
No, queen d.
sir, can I
Queen
take
d8.
q
Queen
d8 followed by rook e8?
Yeah, that's the idea. So queen d8 is that famous game where before this, what has happened is that white bishop has taken the knight on c6. Okay. And king has gone to e8. I remember this.
Yeah.
So king has gone to f8 from e8. So bishop gave a check.
But sir,
Yeah.
Okay.
the king went to f8. Why did the king go to f8?
Okay, if he had killed the bishop, remember, if the king was on e8 and on bishop takes c6 check, what else you could have done? If you had taken with the pawn, b pawn had taken the bishop, then also white queen would have gone to d8, and it would have been a checkmate, because the e7 bishop would have been pinned against the king, because king was on e8 that time. So again, queen to d8. If queen had taken the bishop, then also queen to d8 would have been a checkmate, because the bishop again on e7 is pinned against the king.
Yes.
And if black bishop had gone to d7, then white queen would have simply taken the bishop on d. Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to say that if white gets its queen to d8,
D8 black wouldn't have any other option.
Yeah, black has no other option. He has to kill this queen, and then
Yeah, and then
to
rook E8.
rook to e8, right? It's a very famous game, miniature. I think you should. So okay. As of now, I think it is Magnus Carlsen is in trouble, and I think Nepomniachtchi is having a position, having a material advantage, which is also positionally also it is quite okay. So I think it is a interesting thing position right now going on. Let us see what happens. Okay, so let us look at the last game, which is again showing the distraction. So e4, c5, Sicilian defense, d4, cd4, c3. This is a Smith-Morra gambit in the Smith. It's a gambit line in Sicilian. D takes c3, knight takes c3, t6, bishop c4. Okay, g6 and e5. Yeah, e5 is a very thing. Okay, what is the idea behind e5? Yeah,
In that yesterday's match, who won?
it was a draw.
Oh. Sir, it's a distraction of king, sir.
Yeah, distraction of the king is what is planned.
Sir, can I think a pawn captures pawn?
Yeah, if pawn captures pawn, then
Bishop captures f7.
Many times.
Captures.
bishop
So-
captures f7, and black has no option. The king, black king is the only thing which is defending the black queen, and the king has to go away. There is no other way. It's a
Sir,
forced
you
king.
told something
Excuse me,
before
sir.
this, like Magnus Carlsen something.
Oh, that is in today's game. Magnus Carlsen today's
Sir,
game.
can you send the link for today's game?
Yeah, I will send it. It is there on YouTube.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So once in the tournament setup, sir, in one longer L4 person tricked me into this
This also happens sometimes in Scandinavian defense.
because that was, I think, some few weeks ago, but I think Anup with me.
Or Suhas. I don't know.
Yeah, probably Suhas. Yeah.
Yeah, it is happening. So this you have to be aware of. You have to be beware of, not aware of, beware of. So these things can happen. So it's not easy to take the pawn very simply, sometimes. So yeah. Okay. So with that, I think we have looked at 10 examples, and now you have how many examples you have in practice for distraction? You have another 11 examples. You should complete it. Everyone has to complete all the examples till now. Combination, double attack, knight and pawn forks, because all of that you know. Exploiting a pin, fighting against a pin, discovered attack, discovered check, mill, we have covered mill, double check you already know, decoy, and distraction. These many you should have completed by now, by next week. Okay, so please keep doing all of these things. Okay, we are going to now take a small break and join back in 3 minutes. We will look at the positions for analysis, right? So we'll take a 3-4 minute break and join back. Okay, let me stop the recording.